I think I said to you earlier that having traveled through Europe, there were some countries that gave me great hope about the life of Catholicism in those areas. There were other places where I thought to myself, I'm not sure Catholicism will exist here, at least publicly, in the next 50 years. It was that bad. And it occurred to me that Christ's promise that the gates of hell would not prevail against the church didn't necessarily mean the church in your particular area, in a particular diocese, right, or in a particular country. What do you think about that? I mean,
I think it's accurate. Is when Christ said that the gates of hell will not prevail against the church, it doesn't mean that the church is going to exist in every country and in the form that I'm used to it existing in. In fact, the church may very well, before he comes, be reduced to a few families in Lebanon. It'll still be on the face of the earth on a very, very, very reduced scale, but it'll still exist. Well, with the bishop, of course, because you need to have apostolic succession. But I think what's happening in Germany is really kind of the overture of what's to come in the great work of salvation history. I think the Lord, like with Israel of old, is that he reproves those whom he loves, and there's always a cleansing. And I think that's what's happening, is that there is something happening in the German church right now, which can only be described as apostasy. There's no other way to describe it. When you are introducing doctrines of men that were not recognizable to Basil the Great, Athanasius, Ambrose, Augustine, Benedict, Ephraim the Syrian, then these things are not part of our Holy Catholic Apostolic faith. These are novel introductions of men, and these poor lay people in Germany, they have to choose between, they're in an impossible situation because they have to choose between being members of this church they love, but at the same time being members of an external organization. I'm speaking about the German bishops, who have, I think, violated what has always been believed on marriage and sexuality. So if they continue going to church, having their names written down as Catholics, they pay the church tax in Germany, then they're violating their conscience, because they're saying, I am part of this body, but their conscience says, I'm not part of this body. Mm-hmm. They're teaching something that's not Catholic. They look like Catholics. So you're back at the time of Athanasius in the 4th century, where Athanasius says, let them have the churches, let them have the offices, let them have the cathedrals, and we'll have the faith. That's where the German Catholics are now, is they have to say, let all these guys have the external signs of the Catholic faith, the beautiful cathedrals, all of the things that come with it, but we're going to stay with the faith. And so they have to choose between the two. And now
the difference, though, in Athanasius's time is they weren't saying, let the bishops have the churches and we'll have the faith, were they? I presume.
Oh, yes. Yeah, most of the, like Jerome speaks about this as well, is that, the church woke up and groaned to find herself Arian, is that most of the hierarchy were Arians. And they went after, for example, Athanasius, because he was one of the few who adhered to the Orthodox profession of faith. And the rest of the hierarchy, they had the backing of the emperor, who was an Arian, and then subsequent emperors subscribed to Arianism or semi-Arianism. And so it was very easy for them. And it was the few and the brave, like Athanasius, who were in the minority.
But then the laity were in union with a bishop,
yes,
who was in union with Rome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
What I find a little scary today is I think people are so frightened that they're following bishops that may be excommunicated or who deny the papacy of Pope Francis,
right,
and they're following them.
Yeah.
Thank God there are good bishops, though, who are, I would just sat down with Cardinal Burke. I mean, good man. I want to tell you about Hallow, which is the #1 downloaded prayer app in the world. It's outstanding. Hallow.com/Matt Fradd. Sign up over there right now and you will get the first 3 months for free. That's like a lot of time. You can decide whether it's useful to you or not, whether it's helpful. If you don't like it, you can always quit. Hallow.com/Matt Fradd. I use it. My family uses it. It's fantastic. There are over 10,000 audio guided prayers, meditations, and music, including my lo-fi. Hallow has been downloaded over 15 million times in 150 different countries. It helps you pray, helps you meditate, helps you sleep better. It helps you build a daily routine and a habit of prayer. There's honestly so much excellent stuff on this app that it's difficult to get through it all. Just go check it out. Hallow.com/Matt Fradd. The link is in the description below. It even has an entire section for kids. So if you're a parent, you could play little Bible stories to them at night. It'll help them pray. Fantastic. Hallow.com/Matt Fradd.